What's going on, everyone? Donovan here. Welcome back to the show. First of all, I want to say I know we wanted to start the season off on October 28th, but some things came up, and I really just, to be honest with you guys, really I just had to take a rest. So I apologize for getting started now, but we're going to get into it. All right, so last time we spoke to you guys, talked to you about the whole back to school attitude, student drivers thing. So kind of to tie into what we're going to be getting into for the next couple of life pages. I want to talk about just my issues, life pages with 10th grade today. Now, for some of those who don't know, if you haven't looked at the previous life pages, I talked about flunking fifth grade, and that kind of caused a whole whirlwind of issues. First of all, that not really sure why I flunked it. I know at the time I had glasses. I found out I had to get glasses, and I also had to get braces at the time. So I wasn't the best looking person, but there are also some other factors of just teachers and the schooling that I went through. So I'm not sure exactly what um, kind of caused those reactions, but I ended up in special education and learning disabilities, where I basically went through. When I first went into the program, I went to Winship Middle School. That's where I started, at Winship Middle School. And that was quite a distance away from the house. I took the bus, and there were gangs at the time in that area. I'm not going to mention who they were, but I spent kind of my time going there, kind of getting used to the program, kind of slowing down my thought process, and running from gang members basically after school, because that's how much they were in the neighborhood. So that was the start of just my process with that. And then I was transferred to Emerson Middle School, which was close to the house, and definitely better neighborhood, close to the house. No gangs, and actually closer to the high school I wound up at. So I did good there, and I got double promoted. So I ended up back in my right grade. So ninth grade went pretty decent for ninth grade. I with all the friends I made from learning disabilities and just from middle school, us all kind of transferring, moving on to high school. That was that was a cool time, and just getting used to high school and ninth grade, and it was fun. It was just really fun, and knowing that I could take on certain classes and things like that, it was fun, and it kept me busy. That really kept me busy, despite the things that were going on at home, despite certain things I was feeling at the time. It kept me busy. But 10th grade changed things. 10th grade, I met several friends. I met friends who kind of part of brotherhood have been a part of my life since then. I met friends who were just, well, I don't want to say what they were, but not good, of good character. I met a lot of girls who were really nice, and a lot of girls who were just not a good character. I'll put it like that. And just, I don't know, that year, kind of just triggered some things for me that I think going into it and coming out of ninth grade, I just asked my counselor at the time. I said, I want to go hard. I really want to get stronger in my math. I want to take on stronger math classes. I want to do this. I want to do that. And my counselor at the time said no. He said, don't recommend it. And that triggered something in me that I just couldn't accept that. I didn't want to accept it. And I rebelled with stuff going on at home, just with my stepdad and my mom, that situation. Um, I just, my parents divorced when I was younger, so I just dealing with that, and I didn't really see my dad up to that point. Saw him when I was younger, but I didn't see my dad, in my teen years, up to that point. So just, I think a whole bunch of stuff just, with a whole bunch of stuff I liked, there was a whole bunch of stuff I didn't like, and I really concentrated on just the stuff I didn't like. It was just getting on my nerves. I was bored with school, certain aspects of school that I wanted a stronger math class. I started out of boredom hanging out with friends and getting to know some people that kind of just was outside of my comfort zone, which was really good for me. But just also the weed smoking, the just the hanging out instead of being in math class. I was skipping math class tremendously because I was that bored with it, and I was going through the transcripts, and it's a shame. I'm ashamed to say it now, but back then I was just so bored. I got B's and C's in that class, and I think the only reason why I couldn't have got higher is because of my absences. Several times. Yeah, several times I was absent in that class. I just didn't want to be bothered with certain other classes too. In ninth grade, I didn't like gym. I didn't like individual sports, as they called it, with the swimming and just getting along with others. I didn't really care for that because some of the others were getting on my nerves, and with girls that teased, and with the fellas that annoyed me, just point blank. But it was just a transitional year of things at home kind of coming to a front, uh, with all the friends I came into school with. Just we started to change. We met new people, and you can tell that us special kids, so to speak, became sorted out, where you had the popular, where you had the not so like, where you had the kind of in between. And I always felt like I was the in between, where I can get along with both, but I didn't really care to be part of the popular crowd. And I wasn't, I don't know if I really discovered my nerd side yet, but that would come later with with kind of like the writing and the poetry, and kind of just interested in journalism. So there was a nerd side there. I kind of had like a sports side, but my mother wouldn't let me get into that. I wanted to run track, and I just wanted to do things outside that challenged me. And when I couldn't, I rebelled. I started skipping school, smoking weed, and just really not wanting to be bothered. I was said at school. I was looking at being involved in the the Luke and Laura saga on General Hospital, and just doing kind of mindless things. Just when you're bored, when you're frustrated, it can lead to so many things if you don't guard yourself. So, and that's one of the reasons I'm sharing this video, is because I want people to really think about when you have those down times in your life that you got to really sort it out. So, I've told you guys, this ties into certain life pages too about Miss Jordan, my American and world history teacher, who really looked out for me, is one of the pillars in me graduating. I think I shared in that video that with everything kind of piling up, I pretty much, I came to school with a duffel bag, clothes packed, ready to run away from school. But I wasn't going to miss Miss Jordan's class. That was just my conviction at the time, that I was not going to miss her class. I was going to go to school that day, and then I was going to run away after school, and I was going to go looking for my dad. And as I shared before with that life page, that I put my duffel bag in my locker, went to class. Next thing I know, she's calling me out of class and calls me to the hallway, and in the hallway there's my mother standing. And so my mother and I had this conversation about, why do I have the duffel bag? And I told her, hey, I want to go look for my dad. With things going on at home the way they were, I didn't want to be there anymore. I felt like I was kind of alienated. I felt like the other man, the other guy, and which we'll talk about it in the next life page, actually. But that, I felt weird. My dad wasn't around. And things they were just kind of at that point where I wanted to do something about it. I wanted to have some challenges in life. If I couldn't do it with school, if things were kind of weird, getting to know girls and girls playing around with you, guys irritating you, and things like that. If that was going to be my life, I wanted to find my dad. And so we're having that conversation with my mother in the hallway. She said, hey, you want to see your dad? I'll take you to go see your dad. So, and I just remember us having a conversation, me and my dad, that just him being real with me about life and his situation, and just sharing with me, hey, you're in a better situation. I know you don't like certain aspects of that situation or those situations, but you're in a better situation. And I don't know if it was because it came from him that things clicked, that I have to, even though I wanted certain challenges in my life, that was the challenge. That was the challenge, to take on that situation and be my best in it. Now, what did that mean for me, taking on that challenge? It meant being discerning and not hanging around certain friends. It meant finishing school. It meant, no matter how I felt about my parents' divorce and the current situation at home, that I had to be my best in it. I had to complete the challenge of that. I had to complete high school. They told me that there's no way I would graduate on time. I couldn't accept that, and I graduated on time. I went to night school. I went to summer school at times. I gutted it out dealing with certain personalities in my classes, especially other guys. And you know how that goes. And definitely wasn't outgoing. I was into myself, and I was observant of things. So I wasn't very quick to get out there. I wasn't very quick to embarrass myself. I wasn't very quick to just be that guy, that popular guy. I was more reserved and just focused on other things. Um, that kind of made sense. I didn't care about being cool or wearing the latest things. I just cared about the day to day. And so after having that conversation with my dad, he called my mom, and I was able to go back home. Um, and I had to swallow my pride because I had to deal with, you know, that situation there. And I had to deal with getting back on track at school. And, once again, shout out to um, Miss Jordan and Miss Gordon, because those two teachers um, really helped me through it. When I came back to school after that weekend, I kind of looked at my high school diploma as a crown that I wanted to achieve. It was more than a degree to me. Just your general education degree. It was a statement, because when your mother tells you, "Hey, your dad never graduated from high school," even though you are part of your dad, you don't want to be that. You want to be one who completes things, and I strive to complete my high school education. Even though I felt like high school the last couple of years were very painful. Just I had to learn to look at the good in all my situations, and I think God blessed me with just really putting new people in my life that were became extended family, and really helped me through some things. So 10th grade wasn't the best, but the other half ended up being the challenge I wasn't looking for. It ended up being, I wanted these sets of challenges. I wanted better classes, and my situation to change at home, but I had to end up changing my attitude about the situation at home and what school was trying to teach me. And so, looking back, I still believe that I could have went for some higher things in school, but apparently at the time they didn't think that, and my response to it didn't help. But I'm so thankful for, like I said, Miss Jordan and Miss Gordon, because Miss Jordan, when I graduated from high school and had the opportunity to come back to her class and share with the class to graduate, and keep going despite your home situations, despite how you feel about things, that felt so good. And to look at her and see her smile, just to know I had that support. And Miss Gordon, you know, Miss Gordon started a bug of poetry, of emotion, um, of expression that I didn't really think about. You think about high school, and you got the jock who football is his way out the hood or the streets. Uh, Everybody had their or thinking of their way out. Some people, hey, they were going to the armed forces, and I didn't really have anything to think about. Um, but with Miss Gordon, just tapping into poetry and emotion really helped me out, and I'm appreciative for those two teachers. I'm appreciative for the challenges that God gave me during that time that I didn't recognize, but really helped me to fight. And even thinking about now, just certain life circumstances, to get to this season, season 5 of the Donovan Show, um, to fight through different seasons, no matter what comes up. I didn't realize at the time that's what was being taught, and so I share this video, to encourage you guys not to give up, but to keep going when you want to settle challenges that may be, um, according to you, what you need. You know, God has a funny way of showing you some challenges that, um, will carry you through, will make you stronger than you ever thought that you needed before. So, hope that makes sense. But in the next life page, we will be getting into the Other Man series. Now, these are challenging for me to share, but I think I need to get them out because I know it's gonna help somebody, and that's the reason why these were started, because I wanted to talk to you guys and connect, and share some aspects of my life that I know that others are feeling or can relate to. But guys, that's my life page for today. Sorry, it kind of brings up some stuff, but like I said, I share this because I want people to really realize that you can overcome things, and with God's help, you can be better today. That's my life page for today. Donovan out. Peace.